In recent months, so many of you have been in touch with me raising your concerns.
They may have even more concerns today. Mark Menzies has been churning out Facebook messages to the constituents of Fylde in Lancashire since 2010.
So the honesty needs to start now.
Tonight, his career hangs in the balance, the whip removed, accused of misusing party funds and abusing his position. The Times reports that Mr Menzies rang an elderly local party volunteer at 3:15 a.m. in December, saying, quote, "I've got in with some bad people and they've got me locked in a flat and they want £5,000 to release me." The paper says the sum rose to £6,500, was paid by his office manager from her personal bank account and subsequently reimbursed from campaign funds raised from donors. The Times also reports Mr Menzies used £14,000 from campaign funds to pay his personal expenses. But in a statement to the paper, he said, quote, "I strongly dispute the allegations put to me. I have fully complied with all the rules for declarations." Yesterday, the Conservatives withdrew the whip, although they had known about the allegations for some time, leading many to ask, why the wait?
I think that some new information came about this. Was already being investigated, I should say, but I think some new information has come about.
Can you see how to some people, though, this might look curiously like you were investigating and yet he's only lost the whip once it's become public?
Well, forgive me, as Defence Secretary, I don't know the ins and outs of this, obviously. I do know that it was already being investigated. He, it should be set for fairness, denies the allegations. Those are now being properly looked into with this fresh information.
For Labour, touching distance from an election, this is an opportunity to be seized.
Yet more Tory sleaze and scandal. Today's revelations about the member for the Fylde are extraordinary, but they raise some very serious questions about the misuse of funds and the pressure put on others to facilitate it.
The mood in Mr Menzies' constituency today, damp, wind-battered and split as to whether these allegations move the electoral dial.
I don't think so.
No, not really, no. I think if people are going to vote Conservative, they're going to vote Conservative. If they're going to vote Labour, they're going to vote Labour.
If he has done what he said, what people are saying he's done, though, I think he should, quite frankly, step down from being an MP in total.
Innocent till proven guilty, but I have to say there seems to be a hell of a lot of sleaze around at the moment.
The Tories aren't the only party that's had issues with MPs' conduct or alleged conduct. There are currently 7 former Labour MPs in Parliament who sit without the whip, and the other parties have also had MPs suspended or forced to resign. But there are now 16 Conservative MPs who have lost or resigned the whip since the last election. Many dispute the allegations against them. Among the 16 are William Ragg, who this month apologised for sending MPs' phone numbers to a honey trap scammer, and Neil Parish, who admitted looking at pornography in the House of Commons. 7 of these cases have prompted by-elections.
The numbers of Tory MPs who either lost the whip or had the whip withdrawn seem to be mounting. Is that any different to what it was in '97, for example?
It's more deep-seated, but I think there's the same issue, which is the sense that this is a sort of government that's in moral decline. And I think for Rishi Sunak, it's particularly dangerous because it looks like he just can't keep his own house in order.
It is one of Fylde's best-kept secrets.
Labour are calling for these allegations to be investigated by the police, although some of their MPs say they prefer a general election.
The grumbling among Tories tonight is that this is yet more bad news for a party that, as far as the polls are concerned, are going in the wrong direction at high speed. Just one senior Conservative I spoke to today said, "I thought just maybe we might go 1 week without another mess of our own making." And the cherry on the cake for an already beleaguered Prime Minister is that so many of his MPs have either lost or resigned the whip, that the threshold to trigger a vote of no confidence in him is now just 52, one less than this time last night.